Hello, everyone, and welcome to our special session today. We are joined with Elaine Keeper, Mohini. She's been studying with Dr. Pillai for over 25 years, is the global director of the Dr. Pillai's nonprofit organization, Tripura Foundation, and she runs many of his other organizations. Today, we are going to talk about one of the 4 steps to creating wealth consciousness. If you've been joining us for the other events, you know that Dr. Pillai went through 4 steps to wealth consciousness: mindset repatterning, working with the mantra, working with the yantra, and working with the archetype. So today, Mohini is going to walk us through 8 steps on how to connect with the Shrimberzi archetype, Goddess Lakshmi. Thank you so much for being here today, Mohini.
Thanks for asking me to join the show. So, everyone, this is a favorite topic of mine. I love working with archetypes. In fact, for me, in my practice with Dr. Pillai, I would say almost every significant change that I've had in my life with him, every spiritual experience, most of it has been through working with archetypes. So, when I heard Dr. Pillai say on one of his shows lately, you have to become Shrimberzi, body, mind, and soul, I thought, yes, okay, that's what I want. So, what I did is I started working with that on a daily basis. And to me, it opened up into what I put together as an 8-step process. So I wanted to share that with all of you today. So first of all, in order to become Shrimberzi, and as Dr. Pillai has said, both Shrim and Brazi are the sounds for the goddess of wealth. In order to become Shrimberzi, first you have to develop a relationship with the archetype. And how does that work so well? Because we're human beings, we're social animals. We are meant to relate to others. So developing a relationship with the archetype is the first step. And to develop a relationship with the goddess of wealth, you have to see her as a person. She's a being. Now, when Dr. Pillai compared that to the Holy Spirit, that also really inspired me, because many of you have probably seen my videos on the Holy Spirit. That's something from my roots, so something that I can really relate to. So I thought, wow, okay, the Holy Spirit as the goddess of wealth. I want to know her. I want to see her. I want to be with her. So I was immediately enticed to develop a relationship with the goddess of wealth as the Holy Spirit, a being, a person that would be with me all the time like a guardian angel. Now, here's how the dynamics go. When you develop a relationship with a person, and that relationship gets closer and closer and closer, eventually you merge with that person, just like in a love relationship. So in order to become Shrimberzi, for me it was easiest to immediately relate to Shrimberzi as a person, as a being who was with me all the time, and to nurture that relationship. So what's the first step in a relationship? Commitment. So when we enter a love relationship, we have to commit. So I made my commitment. I've worked with Shrimberzi in the past, and I have to say honestly that during those times, Shrimberzi to me was a mantra. But this is totally different for me now. Shrimberzi is a person. I want to know Shrimberzi as the Holy Spirit. So I made my commitment to Shrimberzi as the Holy Spirit. Now, the next step for me, like Dr. Pillai said in a webcast, it's a matter of commitment, it's a matter of focus. It's a matter of commitment, it's a matter of focus. He repeated it twice, exactly like that. Okay, so step 3 for me, focus. How do you focus on Shrimberzi? You have to say the sounds over and over and over again. Now, you can say it silently within your mind. You can chant it out loud. You can listen to an audio. But you have to do it over and over and over again. And why? As Dr. Pillai says, there is just one rule. You become as you think. If you are saying or thinking Shreem Bazi over and over and over again, you become Shreem Bazi. And when you use the sound over and over again, the mantra Shreem Bazi is calling Shreem Bazi to you, the person. And I'll give you two examples of how this really happens. When I was at a very intimate setting, it was a goddess workshop about 20 years ago. Dr. Pillai was leading the workshop, and it happened to be in the living room of a lady in Northern California. And there were 10 women there. It just happened to be all women. So Dr. Pillai was leading everyone through a meditation, and it was on Shreem. And it was the most beautiful meditation. Every time Dr. Pillai would chant Shreem, then immediately there was a beautiful silvery voice chanting Shreem right after him, exactly like he chanted. He would elongate the sound, and then immediately this beautiful heavenly silvery voice would chant Shreem right after him. And it went back and forth and back and forth. My eyes were closed and I was thinking, who has that gorgeous voice? My God, that's heavenly. So after about 15 minutes, the meditation ended. We all opened our eyes. We looked at one another. Who has that gorgeous voice? My God, within a second, we all realized that was Lakshmi. It was so real. Now, this has happened very often in Singapore. My husband has Shreem Bazi chanting events. And I asked him today, out of all the chanting events that you've had, how many times have people heard Goddess Lakshmi chanting when they say Shreem Bazi? And he said 75% of the time. And he's probably had, I don't know, 30, 40 events. 75% of the time, at least half the people in the room can hear a beautiful heavenly silvery voice chanting when they chant Shreem Bazi. So it's real. When you call on Shreem Bazi with her mantra, which is her sound form, you are calling the goddess of wealth to you. So that's how it works. When you focus on Shreem Bazi, you become what you think and you call her to you again and again and again and again. Now, for the next step, the human mind, the nature of the human mind is negative and confused, and it can't stay on a thought. We all know that. So, when your mind goes off Shreem Bazi, observe your thought patterns. And this is something I've been doing on a very practical basis. I'll observe my thought patterns. I stay with Shreem Bazi, like I said, either silently or I listen to an audio or I chant it myself. But of course, when you get caught up with your workday and naturally you have to think other thoughts, if I get stuck in negative thoughts or confused thoughts, now at least I'm trying to catch myself. Wait a minute. Are these the thoughts of Shreem Bazi, the goddess of wealth? No. So how do you diffuse it? Immediately start driving Shreem Bazi into those thoughts. So if I get stuck in a negative thought pattern and in order to get myself out of it, yeah, you may be there 10 minutes, 15 minutes. If you catch yourself, then I'll say Shreem Bazi faster and faster and faster. And I'll notice that it will drive it away, totally drive it away. So that's the really important thing, because in order to become Shreem Bazi, you have to say it over and over and over again. But because the nature of the mind is to get off it, you need to use Shreem Bazi as your tool to bring you back on track. And as Dr. Pillai says, the mantra is that which protects the mind. And what does Shreem Bazi do? It protects the mind against negative, confused, and poverty consciousness thoughts. So watch out for those thoughts. When you have thoughts in that thought train, immediately start diffusing them with Shreem Bazi. And if it feels like a powerful thought, use Shreem Bazi like a jackhammer. Just how the jackhammer breaks up the cement, you really gotta pound Shreem Bazi in there. But most of the time, it's going to be easiest if you use Stream Z in a beautiful way, like a lullaby. And we have some beautiful audio tracks that J Rod is going to put up on Skype so that you can see. You can vary it during the day because you don't want to feel like a robot where you're just saying Stream Z, Stream Z, Stream Z. If Stream Z becomes a beautiful lullaby to you, which it is because you are singing and calling out to the archetype that you love, the archetype that you want to emulate. So you do it with love and with emotion. And when there's a beautiful melody to it, it's even easier. Okay, now for the next step, Dr. Pillai says it's very important to have an image of the archetype in order to relate to the archetype. And why is that? Because the archetype lives in our collective unconscious, and an image will activate that archetype within us. So keep a picture of Lakshmi or a statue of Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, nearby you. And just keep looking at that picture every day. And I talk to and pray to pictures every day. And again, it's natural. In a relationship, you want to relate to that person. How do we relate? We share our feelings, our thoughts, and we ask for things. So that can help you personalize your relationship with the image of Lakshmi. The other way that you can build your relationship with Lakshmi, or the goddess of wealth, Srimvasi, is to use a yantra. Now, the yantra is a copper plate that has a symbolic representation of the goddess of wealth. And the goddess of wealth is literally locked into that plate. And Dr. Pillai says that when you carry the yantra, touch the yantra, and show candlelight to the yantra, then that yantra becomes more and more powerful and it meditates on your behalf. So you're activating the goddess of wealth to meditate for you and to energize your space with her presence through empowering the yantra. So that's another way to keep Srimvasi vibrating within your environment. You're committed to her, you're focusing on her sound form, which is she, you're calling her to you, you're using the yantra to meditate on your behalf. Now, the step that I feel is most important is I decided, okay, if I want to be the embodiment of Srimvasi, the goddess of wealth, then I want to practice the nature of Srimvasi. And Dr. Pillai has said the nature of Srimvasi is abundance, wealth, prosperity. So practice that. How would that make an impact on your day if you decided that you're going to live your day in abundance and wealth and prosperity? It doesn't have to be that you go out and blow a bunch of money on things for yourself, but you can think abundant thoughts for yourself, for others. Be generous with others. Be loving and kind and take care of yourself like the goddess of wealth. Share yourself with others. And when you think of projects or business ideas, think abundantly and talk to people about abundance and wealth and prosperity. Give them ideas. Encourage them what they could do. The more that you think about abundance, wealth, and prosperity, and the more that you share that with others in your life, even in small ways, and the more that you help other people to become abundant, that's what the goddess of wealth does. So try and live each day living the nature of the goddess of wealth. Now, Dr. Pillai has said that Srimvasi will protect us against negativity, confusion, poverty consciousness. So again, when you see that in your nature, it's okay, it's human nature, but try and get out of it. Don't stay there. Don't get stuck in it. It is human nature to fall into negativity. It's the nature of the mind. But when you notice it, decide to step out of it and to start thinking positive, abundant thoughts. Do something beautiful for another person. Do something good for yourself. Look at your life Do you have just a bunch of old, worn out items in your home? Lately, I've been in the midst of spring cleaning within my home here in Singapore, and it feels great. Every Saturday, I look around me and I think, would the goddess of wealth have this old, worn out item here? When it doesn't cost that much in order to replace these small things, but we don't have that consciousness in order to see it. For example, sometimes people have to say to me, Mohini, you really need a new handbag. That that's great. I appreciate that because also your handbag is what holds your money, and money is life, money is energy. So practice living each day as the goddess of wealth. What kind of thoughts would she think? What kind of conversations would she have with people? How would she be in her love and generosity with others, with herself? So try practicing that. And for me, the eighth step is 100% faith. Dr. Pillai said in one of his webcasts recently, the secret to becoming Shri Busy or to really living these teachings, you need 100% faith. Your faith is what matters. Shri Busy can come to you, can be with you, can help you, but if you don't have faith, then you may not connect with what Shri Busy is doing for you. As Dr. Pillai said recently on a show, he said, okay, Lakshmi may not appear before you in all her jewelry and her red sari, but someone may come to you and they may offer to help you in a very real way. And that's the goddess of wealth coming to you. So if you have faith that as you develop your relationship with the goddess of wealth, that she will respond to you. She will give you the idea that you need for the project that you're stuck on, or she'll help you in in a relationship which has friction in it. She'll help you in terms of getting a new job or a promotion. She'll come and she'll help you. And if you just have faith, and it opens up the door for the goddess of wealth in order to really make herself known to you. So I just wanted to share these 8 steps because for me, it's been actually a fun process. This is something that on a daily basis, it's helping me to really change the nature of my day. I find that when the first thing that I think of in the morning, and when I get up, even before I get up out of bed, when I wake up, when I lay in bed, I work with Shri Busy because I want my first thoughts to be filled with Shri Busy energy. And then I visualize myself as Shri Busy. And when I get up out of the bed, my favorite mantra music to listen to is a Brazil meditation, that meditation music that Pillai Center has. I think Jay is going to put it in the Skype chat. And the reason why I like that, especially in the morning, is because Babaji or Dr. Pillai said that Brazil has that property in order to remove our bad money karma. So in the morning, I can really feel it clearing away the cluttered thoughts that tend to come in the morning, because when we wake up, we've come out of sleep and we have to get back on track again. So when I use it in the morning, I really feel like that helps me to clear away the old and to begin again with the new and repattern myself with Shri Busy. And then during the day, I keep saying Shri Busy or listening to it, chanting it. And if I fall into negative thinking, then I use it even faster and faster. And when I go to bed, I feel like I'm going to bed with the energy of Shri Busy around me. So I take it around with me all day. And when I need help, I go to Shri Busy. I don't know what to do with this project, so I need you to show me. And the answers have been coming. In fact, I've even found that besides me getting new ideas, the people I've been working with, I see that they have new ideas. And I personally feel that this is coming from Shri Busy's energy being around me and everything that I'm doing. So these are the 8 steps that I wanted to share. And I know, Jay Radha, that you love the process of working with archetypes too. So, do you have any questions yourself? Or
Yeah, so actually, someone on the chat is asking for you to list the 8 steps again, in so that we can catch them, because there was a lot of conversation through the 8 steps. So if you can list the key point, like just the name and the key point of each step, that would be great.
okay, okay. I got my notes here, so I'm going to make sure I go through. Okay, so first, in order to become Stream Busy, develop a relationship with Stream Busy as a person. And again, why do you develop a relationship first? So that as that relationship becomes closer and closer, you merge and become Stream Busy. That's the way that I see it for me. So, what's the first step in developing a relationship? Commit to Stream Busy. Make a commitment. For me, step 3, focus on Stream Busy. If you just commit, but if you don't focus throughout the day, then your commitment's not a living commitment. How do you focus on Stream Busy? Say it over and over and over again. Sing it. Listen to an audio. Then observe your thought patterns, because Dr. Pillai stressed this is very important. Find out if you're thinking negative poverty thoughts and replace it with Stream Busy. Fix it with Stream Busy. Next, use an image, which is a picture or a statue, in order to activate the Stream Busy archetype in your unconscious. And relate to that picture in a way where you can talk to the picture and ask, make prayer requests to the picture. Use a yantra. Carry it, touch it, show a candlelight to it. Remember that as you nurture the yantra meditates for you. Don't we want that? Because in case you forget Stream Busy, or if you don't do your meditation as often as you could, your yantra is meditating for you. Practice living the nature of Stream Busy. How would you live your life differently every day as Stream Busy? What's the nature of Stream Busy? Abundance, prosperity, love. It's anti-negativity, confusion, poverty consciousness. So live abundance. Be generous. Do things for yourself, do things for others. And the last is 100% faith. Have faith that as you seek to develop a relationship with Stream Busy, that she really does come. She's there for you. And her help will show up in many ways. So be open to it and look for that as a reality in your life. The more that you look for her in order to reveal herself to you, whether it's to another person or, like I said, new ideas, new opportunities, things will happen. Have 100% faith. As I think it's Jack Canfield who said that it's much easier to have 100% than 99%, because if you're a little bit off the fence, then that's not easy. But 100% is easy, because that's very simple. 100% faith, that's what it is. Just to have total faith that Stream Busy is with you, and she will reveal herself to you more and more every day, so that you and Stream Busy can become one and the same.
Great, thank you so much. We have one more question, which I think is very interesting because it's Pentecost Sunday. So someone is asking if they want to understand better, how do you equate Stream Busy with Goddess Lakshmi and the Holy Spirit? You mentioned that earlier, and Dr. Pillai mentioned it on the first event as well.
That's a good question. Well, the Holy Spirit actually, in ancient traditions, is a female form. It's a feminine energy. So, to me, when I've worked with the Holy Spirit and using the password that Dr. Pillai has taught, Ruach, and I've made videos on that, to me, that's a feminine entity. So, Stream Busy, the goddess is really one. Dr. Pillai has said the goddess has many forms. Yes, there are many different forms of the goddess. She has different names. She has different functions in those forms. but the goddess is really one. So if you relate to the Holy Spirit, this divine feminine energy, which is a overarching guardian angel in your life, someone who's always with you, loves you, helps you, never leaves you, but then you can see her in one of her beautiful forms as Goddess Lakshmi. It's just like getting to know someone you love in a different aspect. You may have related to the Holy Spirit in a certain way, but now try and practice seeing the Holy Spirit as the goddess of wealth. In fact, I watched a video lately where Dr. Pillai said, Lakshmi is the most important goddess. Why? Everybody needs wealth. Even heaven would be in a really bad place if the goddess of wealth weren't there. So she's the most important goddess. So if you see Goddess Lakshmi like that, and then seek to know her in this particular form, this particular personality, then it all becomes one. The Holy Spirit, Goddess Lakshmi. It's just an aspect of the goddess, which, as Dr. Pillai said, is so vital, very important aspect. So I hope that answers the question.
Yes, I think so. It looks like the person is pleased with that answer. So yeah, it also reminds me that during the San Diego live stream that Dr. Pillai did, he mentioned that the stream brzee is also the form of a bird, and that we know from Holy Spirit the form of the dove and bird and wind. So he made that connection again recently as well. So let's see if there's.
Now that you mentioned that, actually, I wasn't going to mention this, but recently, my husband also told me at the last Stream Brzee event, they found it very unusual. They were all chanting Stream Brzee. They did this for 8 hours. And a number of them could feel they could hear the flapping of the wings of a bird. Mm-hmm. And they had no idea why they were hearing that. But after we heard that revelation in San Diego, then he said, oh, okay, that's what's really happening.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, and that was a full 8-hour session of Shri Brzee where Goddess Lakshmi apparently came in her form as a bird.
Mm-hmm. Someone's asking, is it true that you could that Lakshmi doesn't want to be called on too often?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, but we just want to clear that doubt out there in the world.
I don't think so. Just think of the goddess is the divine mother. Would the mother ever leave her child behind? Mm-hmm. Isn't the mother's greatest happiness in order to come to the call of the child? So, in fact, when you call her, don't see that you're bothering her, or again, the way that you can use that calling is call to her, like in a way that you love her. You're calling someone you love. How would you call that person? It wouldn't be demanding, and it wouldn't be harsh.
Or without emotion. Like if you're just like, mom, like I can understand where mothers may not be totally into that. But
right, exactly. So when you call out, who doesn't love to be loved? Even Dr. Pillai had said that the relationship between gods and human beings, the two need one another. You cannot have one without the other. So Goddess Lakshmi loves to be called out. And I think that's why when the people gather in Singapore and chant for 8 hours, I think that's why she wants to make her presence known, because she's happy. She's happy that people are chanting to her, calling to her, remembering her.
Yeah.
So do it with love.
Yeah, definitely. That reminds me of an experience I had in New York for when Dr. Pillai had us do initiations for a minute there. While in the experience with people who were calling or, wanted to deeply be in the presence of the goddess, what I felt was that if you call to her with absolute love, a totally open heart, she finds us irresistible. She cannot resist but to be drawn towards those who call her with an open heart. And that's what I think we're encouraging everyone here today to make sure we create the connection with Lakshmi, to create a relationship with her, and use your 8 steps. There's someone also asking on the chat about kind of how, like, if it doesn't work right away, how would you approach that, or if there's kind of a delay in manifesting, or if it doesn't work for them. Can you address that?
Sure. I have to say for myself, when I started working with Srimbazi, for some reason, it wasn't something that I naturally related to. And in the beginning, even when I kept repeating Srimbazi, sometimes it felt a little mechanical, but I thought, well wait a minute here. If I'm seeing Srimbazi as a person and as someone that I love, then I'm just not going to say it like a robot, Srimbazi, Srimbazi, right? So I changed myself. If I felt like it was becoming robotic, then I thought, okay, that's because I'm not seeing Srimbazi as a person. So if you get in that place where you start working with Srimbazi and you feel like you're just saying it all the time and nothing's happening, I would recommend really pray to Srimbazi and tell her, I want to know you. I really want to know you. I want to see you. I want to be with you. Like that song by, who's the singer?
George Harrison.
George Harrison. Right? That's how I took it when I started this practice recently with seeking to become Srimbazi. Because before, when it had been a mantra to me, then it was something different. But this time I really said to her, I really want to know you. I want you to reveal yourself to me. So it made a difference when I made my commitment to her as a person. And if you find yourself getting robotic, that happens in human relationship too, right? We make a commitment, but then we take the other person for granted. We get robotic about it. So bring more love. There is nothing that can stand before human love and devotion, I don't think. Devotion is everything, and love, and that will win the heart of Goddess Lakshmi. So bring your heart to the process. See her as a person and nurture that every day. Talk to her, think of her, imagine her standing by your side, just like Oral Roberts would say, that when he went to heal someone, he would see Jesus standing right by his side. I'm so impressed by people that can have such a real relationship with an archetype. And but you can do that yourself. You just have to bring the passion and the emotion. You have to want that experience. If you want that experience, I've had experiences with archetypes where I would leave a workshop with Dr. Pillai and he would say, tonight you should be abducted by the goddess. And I would think, yes, that's what I want. And it would happen like that. But you have to really want it. So for all the people that feel like it's not yet working, there's one thing: personalize it. Make sure that you love her and it's a relationship, and develop it like a relationship. Number 2, have faith that it's working no matter what. Even when the people in Singapore are chanting Srimbazi throughout the day, they're saying it really, really fast. And she may not start singing at the beginning, but it usually starts happening halfway through the session. So you have to continue with it. Don't give up, and have total faith. Be like a child. Totally trust like a child. I always felt, when I was a child, I believed in angels and fairies and everything. Give up skepticism because it doesn't work, and it's boring. It's negative. So totally believe in Srimbazi. And like I've given these examples, I myself and 10 other women that day heard Goddess Lakshmi singing so beautifully. And here in Singapore, people are hearing it all the time. This is something really real. And as Dr. Pillai explains, these archetypes live in the collective unconscious of everyone. We all have this potential within us, but we've been looking into our personal consciousness. We have to get into the collective unconsciousness. We have to activate these archetypes, and then it becomes real for us. So in the beginning, yeah, it may feel like, when you start riding a bike, it's a little awkward and you have to practice. It has to become smooth. But like I said, bring your heart, your love, your emotion, talk to her, make a prayer. I talk to people that have fantastic relationships with Shreen Brazil. These are usually women. Women are very, we're simple by nature, and we love to have relationships with others. So I know some women that have told me that they just talk to Shreen Brazil all throughout the day, and I think that that is so beautiful, and that's what really works. Just like when you were a child and when you first heard about God, you probably, I would shut the bathroom door, lock and make sure that no one would see me. I would get down on my knees and pray. I just wanted to talk to God. So if you approach it in that way, like a child, I want to talk to you, I want to see you, then Goddess Lakshmi cannot resist. That's what I think. Who can resist?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Thank you. Well, we're running out of time. Thank you so much for joining. There are some other chat messages, but we have answered those before. Like, what if we have bad karma? You have to work on your bad karma, and Brazil can be used. Mohini mentioned that earlier in the session. So I think we've really pulled together the 8 steps, and I hope that everyone listening can really begin to implement these. Dr. Pillai, as I said earlier in this session, step 4 in the 4 steps to creating wealth consciousness is about creating your relationship with the archetype, Shreen Brazil, working with it. And Dr. Pillai is very much into working with archetypes. In fact, he just made a video a couple days ago, Living a God-Filled Life, where he mentioned the song from George Harrison, I Really Want to Know You, I Want to See You. So the Shreen Brazil Immersion Program is still open for enrollment. In fact, because that is the number 4 step that we will be addressing in the program, the 6-month program. We will be closing enrollment on May 31st. That's the absolute last day that you can join. We'll be closing the live program for 1 whole year. We won't be doing another 6 months after this one. So if you're interested in immersing yourself in Shreen Brazil and really getting the support that you need to follow through on these 8 steps and to follow through on the 4 steps to wealth consciousness that Dr. Pillai taught, the support of the program gives you new teachings from Dr. Pillai, as well as support from teachers, from your community, from remedies that get done on your behalf to accelerate your ability to infuse yourself with Shreen Brazil, bring the goddess into your life, and create real results. In the process, you will be letting go of the karmic baggage that keeps us stuck in certain areas, stuck in certain thoughts. One of the steps Mohini mentioned was observing your thoughts. That's actually step number 1 in the program, which is mindset repatterning. Dr. Pillai wants us to look very deeply at our thoughts, observe them, diffuse them. So we'll be teaching a technique for that as well. There's also a really beautiful full body immersion of Shreen Brazil meditation that Dr. Pillai is having us do in this program. So if you're interested in joining the program, you do have until May 31st. That's the absolute final day. And there are 3 different levels, and you can find out more about that on the website. Basically, silver is your introductory, which gives you all the core teachings, as well as community support and weekly Shreen Brazil Fire Labs. Gold gives you all of that plus some remedies. And platinum gives you all of that, some more remedies, as well as individual coaching and group coaching to help keep you more accountable and on track with all of the teachings and making sure you stay accountable in your group teams as well. So if you have any other questions about that, you can post them in the chat. You can also email us, programs@pilaicenter.com, and we'll be happy to address that. But thank you so much, Mohini, for joining us today. Thank you all of our viewers, and we'll talk to you soon. Namaste.